Welcome to the Sportology Show, Episode 1. My name is Vitor, and joining me today are Superneath, Samir, Sujay, and Pragoon. Today we will talk about our Week 8 NFL predictions, with our game of the week being Steelers at Ravens, 12 p.m. on Sunday. Before we start, a little bit about who we are. In our Sportology Show, we'll analyze sporting news from around the world, predict match results, and discuss recent developments in the sporting world. We will go over sports including all four of the major American leagues, soccer, tennis, and more. Let's start things off with the Thursday night football matchup today between the Falcons and the Panthers. Boys, let's hear your predictions today.
Yeah, okay. So in this matchup, a big factor is going to be how the Falcons will be able to go like with a lead. Will they blow it again, or will they actually be able to hold on to a lead? Once again, last week they blew it to the Lions. I think they had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. So this time their defense has to step up in the fourth quarter. They can't keep on allowing offenses to score on them in the fourth quarter. Plus, their offense has to stay high powered like they are. But in reality, I still think the Panthers are going to win this game. Teddy Bridgewater's been playing amazing after getting that huge contract by the Panthers this offseason. That was viewed by many as like a questionable move. DJ Moore has been playing well. Robbie Anderson's been playing great. Mike Davis has played well in CMC's replacement. And this defense has been solid. So I feel like the Panthers are going to win 24-20.
All right, so I completely agree with that. I feel it's going to be really high scoring games with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. All of them are going to have phenomenal games. But it's going to be a high scoring game, but it's going to ultimately come down to defense. And right now, the Panthers' defense is looking really strong right now. They've been having a really good rush defense against top tier running backs, and also having an elite pass defense against top tier wide receivers. Like last time when they played the Falcons, they locked down Calvin Ridley pretty well. They limited him well, and I don't think Julio Jones played that game though.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. Falcons do have a good offense. I would say it's more their defense that really causes a problem. However, the Panthers have been playing, extremely well in the last few games. Um, so I definitely agree with that prediction, Barry Bridgewater, and his new deal. So that the Panthers winning is a huge possibility on.
All
think
right,
the Panthers will win against the Falcons just because I'm just looking at like their past games. The Panthers have lost their last two, so I think they're going to come back in this one and beat a division rival in the Falcons. Falcons have been doing pretty awful, mostly because of their defense and low football IQ of some players. And Dan Quinn's job is definitely in jeopardy just because the Falcons are 1-6. When you have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, it's really hard to be
Dan Quinn
1-6
already
as
got
a
fired.
coach.
Forgoon.
Oh,
Dan Quinn
he's
already
already
got
fired.
fired 2 weeks ago.
Oh, there's no surprise there. But anyways, yeah, just because Falcons don't really have a coach that hasn't really fit into their system exactly quite yet. Yeah, the Panthers are going to take it away.
Okay, I think I'm the only one who's predicting this, but I think the Falcons are going to win. I don't really have much reasons for this except the Falcons streak has been going on for too long. They can't keep on blowing leads. And I think in prime time Thursday night is when the streak of blowing leads finally ends against a Carolina team which has a questionable defense. I think Matt Ryan and the Falcons offense will completely will score a lot of points, and I don't think the Kellen offense will be able to keep up with them in this game. I know the defense for Falcons is not that great, but I think this game the defense will step up, and I feel like this team will play with more vigor and more passion than they've played in recent weeks. And this is definitely not a popular prediction, but I think the Falcons will win. And my score prediction is 35-24 for this game.
I would like to see that happen, but I think the Panthers will win. That Falcons winning would be good because in the Panthers fall down more in the NFC standings. All right, so let's go to the other more games on Sunday. So I'm not gonna touch mainly on I'll touch on the somewhat even games, but there's some games this weekend. There are clear cut winners here. So if we first take a look at Vikings at Packers, think all of us as a consensus are gonna pick the Packers, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Packers, but I'm gonna be wary and say might be a close game, to be honest. Because
Dalvin Cook is injured.
yeah, okay, but let me explain my reasoning. Kevin
Okay.
King is probable to play. I think he suffered an injury earlier. He suffered an injury earlier today. So he might not actually play the game. That's your second best corner right there behind Jair Alexander. And I think Jair Alexander is gonna try and lock down Adam Thielen. So that opens up a big opportunity for Justin Jefferson to go off like he has this whole season. And Alexander Mattison, who's Dalvin Cook's replacement, has done pretty good in his a couple games back. And honestly, I don't know because the Packers should win this game, but since it's a rivalry game and the Vikings have been doing terrible so far, I feel like the Vikings will play their best game, but the Packers will still end up winning. I predicted 30-27 win for the Packers in this game.
I would definitely agree that the Packers. Um, but unlike Superman, I think it's just going to be a kind of a normal win for them. Definitely not a blowout or a crushing defeat for the Vikings. But I don't predict a close one either, mainly because Aaron Rodgers has been so strong this season, and they're only getting better each game. So when they're playing a team like the Vikings right now, who have let me just check right here. The Vikings have a 1-5 record, whereas the Packers have a 5-1 record. So that's my main reason as to why I don't think the Vikings are going to pull it close here.
Okay, I think the Packers are going to win too because, I mean, if you look at it, Packers have the better quarterback. They're doing much better than the Vikings as a whole. Aaron Rodgers is very explosive. And now with the healthy Devontae Adams, the Packers are much more dangerous. They're one of the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC. And Vikings are kind of not even in the playoff race. I think it's going to be an easy win for the Packers. I'll take them by at least 10 points. At least a 10-point deficit win.
Yeah, to close out the consensus, I think the Packers are going to win, but I'm going to side with Simeon and Super and saying it's going to be a close game. And my reasoning for this is one, though Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones are both injured, Dalvin Cook has more of a chance of playing, especially because he had his bye week last week, while Aaron Jones and the Packers have shown in the past that they're more careful on injuries of the team. We saw that with Devontae Adams getting injured. They probably kept him 1 week longer on the bench, longer than they probably could have. And same with Aaron Jones. Last week, Aaron Jones didn't play, even though he was questionable. So I think Dalvin Cook is going to play, but Aaron Jones is not going to play. And that's my main reasoning for why the game will be close. And also because the Packers have the 32nd ranked rush defense, and Dalvin Cook has proved to be one of the top 5 backs in the league. So I think what's going to happen is the Vikings are going to be in the lead in the fourth quarter, but Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to drive down the field, 2-minute drill, and they're going to steal the game away at the last second. And the game's going to be a one-score game.
All right, let's continue. So Titans, Bengals, Jets, Chiefs, clear winners there. Titans and then Chiefs. And as we move to Colts and Lions, this is interesting. I want to hear you guys say on this. I am personally going to pick the Lions here because their offense has been really good recently as they got Kenny Galladay back from his injury. TJ Hawkinson really stepped up last game. Their three-way running back core is actually really good. Kerryon Johnson, Adrian Peterson, and DeAndre Swift. So I think the Colts will win because last game the Lions will win because last game the Colts were down by 21 and they came back. But I don't think the Bengals are gonna blow a lead I don't think the Lions are gonna be like the Bengals and blow a lead like that.
Okay. Just before I start with the Colts and Lions, I want to touch upon a few things with the Titans and Bengals. So the Titans definitely should win this game, but Joe Burrow has been going off the past couple of weeks. I think he threw for 400 yards a couple of weeks ago. He did really well last week against Baker Mayfield in like a really close shootout game. And T. Higgins has been doing great as well as Joe Burrow's like probably best or second best receiver. Tyler Boyd's been doing great. So I don't know. And the Titans defense hasn't been that good this year. So I feel like this will be a high scoring game. It'll actually be a close game. The Bengals offense definitely has the ability to be able to be high scoring and make this a very good game. Derrick Henry's coming off like an off week against the Steelers, having only 75 rushing yards. I expect that to change this week. I expect him to go off, but I think the Titans will win a close one, 34-31. And in terms of the Jets and the Chiefs, I think we all know this is going to be a blowout. Le'Veon Bell is going to have his revenge game against the Jets. And actually, Patrick Mahomes was passed up by the Jets in that draft that he was drafted by the Chiefs. So the Jets definitely had an opportunity to draft Mahomes in that draft, but chose not to. So it's kind of like, I guess, a revenge game for him as well. And I feel like Chiefs are going to win this one easy by at least 20 points. And in terms of the Colts and the Lions, the actual game that I feel like it's going to be really good. The Lions have been doing really well these past couple of weeks. I think they started off 1-3, but won 2 straight. Matthew Stafford's showing why he is a top 10 quarterback in the league. He was pretty much underrated throughout his whole career just because he's playing for like a bad team like the Lions, but he's finally like proving his worth. The Colts, Philip Rivers has too many turnovers, and that might wreck the Colts in this game. But the Colts defense is one of the best in the league. So I'm going to go with the Colts, but in a close one. I think the Colts win by 3 points in this game.
Going to Chiefs and Jets. Jets have been horrendous this season, and are on for I am pretty sure a zero win record this year. They're 0-7. However, I do believe that the Jets have the potential to score at least one touchdown against the Chiefs, if not more. That's just my prediction. So I don't think it's going to be a complete blowout. Hopefully, they score at least once. But moving on to the Lions versus Colts, I'm going to have to go with the Lions here. Matthew Stafford has been really performing this season, and especially in the last 2 games. And their win against Atlanta, although it was against the Falcons, it was, I'm pretty sure, a last-minute win where they drove down the field to get the touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I just think the momentum that they're having and how Matthew Stafford is playing, I think it can push them over the edge just to beat the Colts.
Okay, so for the Titans, Bengals, Jets, Chiefs, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Titans will win, Chiefs will win. So for the Colts, Lions, I'm gonna take the Colts. I think Philip Rivers is not great, but I personally think some of the Colts receivers are underrated. I mean, they've got a pretty solid receiving core in Zach Pascal, Marcus Johnson, and even though T.Y. Hilton hasn't been scoring as much as he should, he's always in the backfield ready to go. And Jonathan Taylor's a pretty quality running back. And I like the Colts defense too. I think they can really get to Matthew Stafford. I like the Colts in this matchup.
Okay, so touching base on the 2 games that all of us have the same prediction. Tennessee, Cincinnati, Bengals, Titans are gonna win, but I think that game will be a lowest scoring game. I don't know why. This is a gut feeling that I have. It's gonna be a low scoring game. Going to Chiefs and Jets. Chiefs are gonna win. The over under right now is 3 touchdowns. I'm gonna be slightly low. I'm gonna say Chiefs are gonna win by 17 points. And then Detroit, the Lions and the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts over Lions. And the main reason why is the Colts defense is one of the best in the league, and that's gonna be a low scoring game. I feel the Colts defense has been really good. Has been one of the best defenses at holding teams to low point totals. They've been good at rushing the passer. They've been good in all the aspects of defense, and the Colts defense are going to be the reason why the Colts are going to win. Though Philip Rivers is not as good of a quarterback as Matthew Stafford, and though the Lions might have a better offense, I bet the Colts defense will shine in this game, and they'll carry the team over the line. But that being said, the game will be a close one, and it'll be a low-scoring one. And my prediction is 17-13 Colts.
All right, so as we move on to our game of the week, Steelers at Ravens. It's going to be a good game. I don't know why. They should flex this to Sunday Night Football. Should really do that, but yeah, it's personal opinion. But it's good. It's like 50-50 right now. A lot of people are saying Steelers, people are saying Ravens. Personally, I have the Ravens winning this game because I feel like Lamar has something to prove. Like it's Lamar Jackson, everyone. Like this past season, everyone's been saying, "Oh, Lamar's fell off, Lamar that, Lamar this." He's still Lamar Jackson. He's a solid quarterback. I think he has something to prove. He has a chip on his shoulder right now. And I really think that this Ravens offense is going to torch the Steelers. And I can't wait to see if Dez Bryant plays or not, because Dez Bryant is a phenomenal wide receiver.
Yeah, I definitely agree that this should be flexed to Sunday Night Football, and I think the actual matchup for Sunday Night Football is the Cowboys and Eagles. And I don't think anybody wants to watch the NFC least. But yeah, I'd like rather see the Steelers Ravens at Sunday Night Football, but we'll take what we get. And in terms of the actual matchup, this is gonna be a really good matchup. The Ravens have one of the better offenses. Steelers have the best defense. Ravens also have one of the better defense as well. Steelers have a really good offense as well. So they're both insanely good this year. Ravens lost pretty big against the Chiefs, but that's their only loss of the season. What a big I feel like a big matchup in this certain game is going to be how Lamar Jackson fares against the Steelers defense. In his previous matchups against them, he hasn't done that well. So if the Ravens want to win this game, Lamar has to step it up against the Steelers defense, and it might be tougher this year than years before because this Steelers defense honestly might be better or at least close to the same level that they were the past couple of years. TJ Watt's playing like a defensive player of the year. Bud Dupree's playing insanely well, playing like a Pro Bowler. And Robert Spillane, who came in for Devin Bush, has been playing really well. He stuffed Derrick Henry at the 1 yard line. And that's the thing that not many people can say they've done. And yeah, the Steelers defense has been playing amazing. And another thing that we have to note is how the Ravens wide receivers will fare against the Steelers secondary. Against Minka, against Joe Hayden, against Steven Nelson. This is going to be a tough a matchup for the Ravens wide receivers. So Marquise Brown has to step it up in this game if the Ravens want to have to win this game. But my personal opinion is that the Steelers are going to win this game. They have the best defense, one of the better offenses. I feel like the defense will come to show today, and they're going to actually shut down the Ravens offense. And I feel like the Steelers actually win this by handily. My prediction is Steelers 31, while Ravens 20.
Superneath, you don't have any bias, right?
I'm not biased, okay? I think you can tell that Lamar has to play well if the Ravens are to win. And I just don't see that happening because he hasn't done well in the past against the Steelers defense either.
Yes, I definitely agree. Although I am going to say that the Ravens are going to take this one. I feel like Peter said, Lamar does have something to prove. And personally, I do feel he has fallen off just a little bit. But this game, if he beats the Steelers and ends their unbeaten record, I think that's something to prove. And as Superneath was saying, Steelers have one of the best defenses in the league. So if Lamar can pull out, end the unbeaten record, beat the, I guess, number one defense in the league, and prove his worth, I think that'll put him back on the top. And I think this game is really the place for him to do that. Unfortunately, in the Chiefs game, he wasn't able to beat them out, the Super Bowl champs. But if he does this against the Steelers, I'm sure it'll hold almost the same value. So I feel like Lamar has something here to prove. And overall, just the Ravens have something to prove that, they still are a very, very good team. So beating Pittsburgh, maybe it's not crucial for them, but I would say it's very important to them. And I definitely feel they're going to pull out and win this one.
I like the Steelers. Just because I think the Steelers are exceptionally dangerous when they've got Big Ben there. They're not down to their third string quarterback. And I just think the Steelers have so many weapons this year. I mean, when you got guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, James Conner, and then Marcus Pouncey as your center, and then you've got Eric Ebron. So many of these guys, I think, will pull together, so they're off, which makes their offense dynamic. And we know their defense. You've got Joe Hayden, T.J. Watt, and all of these defensive players will really get to Lamar Jackson. I just don't see the Ravens winning. I think Mike Tomlin will pull out. He'll make the right calls in this uh, game, and it will be a great game. And I think it's gonna be pretty close. I mean, one of the teams might only win by a field goal, like the Steelers Titans game. But I think the Steelers will pull out again and stay undefeated. Because personally, I watched the whole Titans Steelers game, and I really like the Steelers in that game. Even though Big Ben threw interceptions at the end, the Steelers were pretty dominant in the first half, and the Titans were only able to come back in the second half. So I just don't see the Ravens winning against the Steelers.
Yeah, to add on to that, just quickly, that Steelers wide receiver core is scary. I'd say it has like the contention to be the best in the league. Any given week, Deontay Johnson might go off, or Juju Smith-Schuster might go off, or Chase Claypool, and even James Washington has had a couple of great weeks. So that wide receiver core is going to be a big like factor for the Ravens to try and shut down if they're going to have to win this game.
All right, just before Suda starts, all right, the statement you just made, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. Saying they're one of the best in the league, there's a lot of better cores in the league. You got Carolina, you got Atlanta. Oh yeah, Atlanta. Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Then you got Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Thielen. They're good. I don't think they're in top 5 at all.
Well,
Plus,
by wide receiver core, I mean like not just two players, not just two wide receivers. I mean like three or four. So like when you
Again,
compare the Steelers wide receiver core, like Atlanta only has two like really good wide receivers. They don't really have that third option. So that's what I was trying to say.
Russell Gage, who's not bad.
yeah, and Vito forgot the Tampa Bay wide receiver core. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They have Antonio Brown now, and
Yeah.
Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Is one of the scariest passing corps, and they're playing for one of the scariest passing quarterbacks, and arguably the best quarterback of all time. And going to my prediction for the Steelers and Ravens, I have Steelers winning this game. I'm going to choose the same deficit as Super Need, except it's going to be 21-10 instead of 31-20. And the reason for me picking the Steelers over the Ravens is one, Lamar Jackson. He's not going to get it done against Steelers defense. I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback, but the Steelers defense is too top notch. It's too good to get stuffed by one quarterback, and without Lamar's like rushing ability, the Ravens offense won't be able to function because his rushing skill is what gives the offense is a dynamic style. And Steelers are one of the best defenses against the rush, and especially at containing quarterback and pressuring quarterback. So when Lamar doesn't get time to throw, when he doesn't get time to make decision whether to rush or whether on the throw, he makes mistakes. And Steelers defense is one of the best at forcing QBs to make mistakes. And furthermore, I think the Steelers offense is also really good. I would say that Ravens are a better offense, but overall the Steelers have a slight edge in the team just because of how good their defense is. And another prediction, kind of a side prediction, I'm going to say Minka Fitzpatrick is going to get a pick to seal the game.
All right, and moving gone, we have Rams, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills, Raiders, Browns. I'm gonna go with the Rams, Bills, the Browns. So my explanations for these are: I really don't think Tua is gonna do well against that Rams defense. I think Aaron Donald's gonna absolutely destroy that game, get a couple sacks, be a fumble or two. So I don't know about that move starting Tua his first game against the Rams defense. And then Patriots Bills. The Patriots have been a huge disappointment after their first 2 games that they won. They got absolutely shut down by an injured 49ers team last week. And this Bills team is really strong. And they're one of the best teams in the AFC. So I think that's going to be a easy win for them. And Raiders Browns. think the Browns are going to take this one because the Browns' offense have been electric recently. And even though OBJ went down, Kareem Hunt and Jarvis Landry can, I think, pull through. And Miles Garrett's also having a year of his career. He's doing really great. Top 5 in the Defensive Player of the Year race already. And yeah,
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start with the Rams and Dolphins. I agree. This Rams defense is one of the best in the league, probably top five. And Aaron Donald is the best defensive tackle in the league, like no doubt about that. And it's gonna be a rough start for Tua. I feel like he's gonna get sacked a bunch of times. This Dolphins O line is gonna be good enough to shut down Aaron Donald. So it's gonna be a rough debut for Tua. But I actually feel like he's gonna start off bad, but he's gonna like get better as the game progresses. And I honestly feel the Dolphins are gonna make this a close game. They have enough weapons on offense. Devontae Parker's a stud. Preston Williams is good. Mike Gesicki is good on a couple weeks. So I feel like this Dolphins offense will be able to do enough to like make it a close game. But I still feel like the Rams are going to win by 10. And in terms of the Patriots and Bills, I don't know. I just feel like whenever the Patriots play the Bills always come in with their heads high. They have all this confidence, but they always end up falling on their faces. I feel like this is going to happen once again. I know the Patriots have been terrible this year after that like really good start. Cam Newton has like completely forgot to throw the football and actually run. But I feel like Bill Belichick is going to coach his team to play well enough against his Bills team. And also, Josh Allen hasn't done that well against the Patriots defense in the past. I don't really expect that to change this year. And I know he's been playing amazing thus far, except a couple off weeks here and there. But I still feel like this Patriots defense will be able to do enough to stop Josh Allen. And without Josh Allen, I feel like the Bills are going to lose this game. And I feel like Patriots going to win by 3 in a close game. And in terms of Raiders and Browns, this is going to be an interesting game because both teams are kind of like in the middle of the playoff race. And yes, the Browns have a better record; they're 5-2, while the Raiders are 3-3. But in reality, the Browns have played like easier teams. The Raiders have played, I think, they played the Chiefs and they've also played the Buccaneers. Um, and coming off that big loss last week to the Buccaneers, I feel like the Raiders are going to try and bounce back this week against easier opponent nonetheless. And I feel like the Raiders are going to win this game. I think it all comes down to if Josh Jacobs can go off like he's supposed to. Like he got shut down last week. He wasn't able to do that good. So if Josh Jacobs plays well, I feel like this is going to be a win for the Raiders. If he doesn't, I feel like the Browns are going to pull through with this game.
Yeah, I was just reading some article on CBS Sports, and they say that the Patriots might topple the Bills. And I quote that from the CBS article. However, I can see why that's happening. Patriots have not really performed along with Cam Newton, and although they are playing the Bills well, a 5-2 record and an amazing team with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and a relatively good defense. This game, even if Patriots don't win, I think they will definitely make it a close one. And for some reason, I have an intuition that they might win this game against the Bills. If not win, then at least make it close. In terms of Rams and Dolphins, I definitely think the Rams are going to win. They're compared to the Dolphins, they just have a way better team. And Aaron Donald, like Vitor said, will definitely get a few sacks here and there. In terms of the Browns versus the Raiders, and in the same CBS article, it says that the Raiders will beat the Browns. I think I can get behind that statement and agree with that. Although the Browns have a better record, like Superneat said, it's just the fact that Raiders have played much harder teams, like the Chiefs being one of them, and the Buccaneers especially. So this is their moment to bounce back. They have a very strong team. I would say they're a very underrated. That's just my personal opinion because at the start of this season, I didn't expect them to do as well as they're doing right now, although they only have a 3-3 record. So I think this is a game where the Raiders will take the dub.
Okay, so for the Rams, Dolphins, I'll pick the Rams. I feel like I don't know if it's gonna be a blowout, but I honestly think it's gonna be at least 2 touchdowns because the Rams are doing pretty solid right now. Goff's playing pretty good, and their offense is moving along. Their defense, led by Aaron Donald, is great. I think the Rams will topple the Dolphins. I'll take the Patriots over the Bills. I know the Patriots are really undermanned right now. They've got pretty much no star offensive player, and their quarterback position really needs some work. Cam Newton threw 3 interceptions against the 49ers and 15 passes, and which led to a replacement. Jared Stidham didn't really do that well either. But I don't know why. I just feel like the Patriots will beat the Bills just because they're division rivals and Patriots will be more fired up. They'll be looking to make a comeback. And Patriots defense is I think they're one of the best in the NFL, except not including the game against the 49ers. Other than that game, they're one of the best defenses against the NFL. And their secondary is really good. Their line could use some work, but their secondary is really good in Devin McCourty and Stephon Gilmore. And I think the Patriots will take a win against the Bills. Coming to the Raiders and Browns, I think this game will be a shootout. Both offenses will be getting a lot of yards, scoring a lot of points. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think it's going to be a really close one. I think Josh Jacobs will have a big day. All the Browns receivers, I think, will also have big days because they'll get a chance to shine now that OBJ is gone. I'll give the Browns a little edge over the Raiders just because I think Baker Mayfield actually plays better when without OBJ, and I think that's not against OBJ. I think it's just a chemistry issue. But Baker Mayfield, right when OBJ leaves, he goes absolutely off against the Bengals. So that's why I think I'll give an edge to the Browns in this one.
Yeah, just before Sujay starts, I'll just provide some injury updates. Micah Hyde won't play for the Bills in the matchup against the Patriots, or he's not likely. And both Julian Edelman and N'Keal Harry won't play for the Patriots.
Okay, thanks for the update, Super Neat. I'm actually going to start with that game as well. Hopefully, Pergun wasn't biased in saying the Patriots are going to win. And I'm going to take the Bills are going to win. Josh Allen didn't really have a great game against the Jets, but I think he's going to bounce back very nicely against the Patriots team that is not performing up to the expectations that we all expected them to. Like, we didn't expect them to become playoff contenders all of a sudden when they lost Brady, but I think we expected them to have a better record than 2-4 with the core that they still have from last season. I'm gonna take the Bills mainly because Josh Allen is too good of a quarterback, and he has the weapons on offense to get it done against the New England defense. And the Bills defense is gonna hold the Patriots offense to a low score. And going to the Rams and the Dolphins, I feel like this game is going to be a little bit of a blowout. I'm going to say 2 touchdowns or more, mainly because the Rams just have the better overall team, a better defense, a better special teams, a better offense. The Rams have too many weapons to lose against the Miami Dolphins, especially with Tua playing his first game. If Tua goes off in his first game, then I don't really see that happening, but he could go off this game. You never know with Tua. Like we saw it in college, he he posted insane numbers in college before he got injured, but I don't think he's going to get up to a little bit of a slow start in his NFL career, and I don't see him beating a good Rams team. And then going to Raiders and the Browns, I'm going to say the Browns are going to win. Browns have so much momentum from the last game where they came back at the very end to win. And I'm going to say the momentum continues in this game against the Raiders. It's going to be a high scoring affair. However, I do believe the Raiders' rookie wide receivers will shine. Brian Edwards and Henry Ruggs are going to play, and they're going to each score 1 touchdown. And they're going to show why the Raiders made the right decision in picking both of them in 2 of the first 3 rounds. However, I still think the Browns are gonna win the game, mainly because their defense is slightly better and their offense has a little bit more weapons, and also the better quarterback in Baker Mayfield, who has been playing outstanding these past few weeks. And we're a little bit are cutting it close on time, so I think for the rest of the games, we should probably just give predictions instead of explanations for a prediction.
I totally agree. So the next couple of games, Chargers Broncos. I'm gonna go the Chargers winning. just because Justin Herbert's been amazing this year. Saints Bears, I got Saints winning. Saints have been on a roll recently, so that'll continue. Seahawks. I can't pick the Seahawks. I'm gonna pick my 49ers to win. 100% bias going into this decision, but I'm gonna 100% pick the 49ers to win. Cowboys Eagles. I have the Eagles winning. Carson Wentz has surprisingly been playing well the last couple of games after a horrible start. And then Bucks Giants. Not even gonna be close. The Buccaneers are gonna. It's gonna be a manslaughter.
So I'll start off with the Chargers Broncos. I have the Chargers winning this one. I'll have to agree with the leader on this one. Justin Herbert has been playing way too well recently. He's going to be a big factor in the Rookie of the Year race. Going to the Saints and Bears, I feel like the Saints are going to easily win this game. The Bears' offense has been atrocious. Nick Foles needs to find some of the luck that he had in Philadelphia for them to even have a chance. 49ers Seahawks, I can't go with the 49ers in this one. The 49ers defense is injured. Seahawks offense is electric. Russell Wilson played like his MVP form. Metcalf and Luck will both have big days. And I feel like the Seahawks will win this one handily. Cowboys Eagles. I'm going to be honest. This is a garbage Sunday night game to even put there, but we'll have to do with it. But I feel like the Eagles are going to win this one handily. Andy Dalton might be out for this game because he had a concussion last week. If he does play, I still feel like the Eagles are going to win this game. It's going to be an easy win for them. And moving to the Buccaneers Giants, once again, this is going to be a blowout. The Bucs have been playing way too well recently. Giants have been playing really bad. And I feel like this is going to be a blowout, at least a 17-point win.
Yeah. So again, I'll start with the Seahawks and the 49ers. My decision here is biased and non-biased. Obviously, my favorite team is the Seahawks, and we're big rivals with the 49ers. So my intention is always to go with the Seahawks in any game. But even as Superneath said earlier, the Seahawks offense is really picking up. Their defense is is okay, I would say. It's not the best, but they're also building that up and have made a few trades. So the 49ers are still injured. They're not back to their full form. Definitely not going to be a handy win to the Seahawks. However, I still think they're going to win. In terms of the Cowboys and the Eagles in the NFC East, it's funny that the leading team only has 2 wins. So I will have to go with the Eagles here, mainly because the Cowboys don't have Prescott, and the Eagles do have a relatively good quarterback. In terms of the Saints and the Bears, I still feel like this one is going to be close. Here's why: because Saints, Drew Brees is starting to pick up his pace and starting to get better each game. But the Bears have also had a good record. So if Nick Foles can, be magical like he was at the Eagles, I think the Bears can pull out on this one.
Against in the Chargers Broncos, I'll pick the Chargers. That shouldn't be much of a debate. Broncos are not that great, and Justin Herbert's playing well. The Chargers will win. Between the Bears and Saints, I think it's going to be a close game. I'll pick the Bears. I like their defense better, and I feel like Nick Foles might hit a couple of good passes. Allen Robinson might pop off, and I think I'll pick the Bears in this one. 49ers Seahawks. The Seahawks are absolutely rolling. They lost a close game to the Cardinals, but other than that, they've been absolutely crushing their opponents, so I'll pick the Seahawks. Cowboys, Eagles, not much of a debate. Cowboys, their quarterback is literally Ben DiNucci. They don't even have Andy Dalton or Dak Prescott. If the Eagles actually lose this, Carson Wentz should be ashamed of himself. But I'll pick the Eagles winning this one. Buccaneers, Giants, that's not much of a debate. Buccaneers are about to slaughter the Giants in New York.
Okay, let's go to the later games. First, I'm going to start with the Chargers and the Broncos. I'm going to go with the general consensus and stick with the Chargers. Justin Herbert has been doing very well in his rookie season. He has a lot of weapons on offense. Broncos have not been winning the games that they should be winning, and their team has not performed up to a level that we thought they would when the season started, based on how good their defense should have been. And then going to the Seahawks and the 49ers game, I can't blame Peter for siding with his team, the 49ers. I can't blame Samir for siding with his team, the Seahawks. But personally, I'm going to go the Seahawks just because the defense is not the defense, but the offense is better than the 49ers offense. Seahawks have more weapons on offense. They have the better quarterback in Russell Wilson, who is who is firmly in the MVP race, if not the MVP front runner. And the 49ers just have too many injuries on their team, and that's ultimately going to be the reason why they lose to the Seahawks. Granted, I think that it'll be a close game. Probably will be 10 points or less, the score, and it'll be a high scoring game as well. Going to the Saints and the Bears, the Saints are going to win, and though the Bears do have the better record, the Bears have not been winning against the good teams, and most of the teams that beat have been worse teams than the Bears, including the Falcons. So I'm picking the Saints here. Michael Thomas is expected to come back for the Saints. Uh, and even if he doesn't, the Saints should still win. They have Kamara, they have Drew Brees, who is a proven veteran and who is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, one of the best veterans in the league. And the Saints and Bears have, in my opinion, equal defenses, but ultimately the experience of Drew Brees will carry the Saints over the line. The Eagles and the Cowboys. Andy Dalton is not supposed to play the game, but even if he does, I'm still picking the Eagles just because their defense is better, their offense is better, they have more weapons. Travis Fulgham, and though Miles Sanders is injured, Boston Scott has really stepped up in his plays and has functioned as the team's a leading running back. And Carson Wentz has been inconsistent at best in his career, but I still think he has what it takes to get the Eagles over the line. And Buccaneers Giants shouldn't really be much of a question. I'm going to go with the consensus. It's going to be a manslaughter by the Buccaneers. Tom Brady's going to go off. The wide receiver is going to go off. The running back's going to go off. Everyone's going to go off for the Buccaneers, and it's going to be a good win for them.
All right, that wraps it up for this week's NFL predictions. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below and hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it. And stay tuned for next episodes, upcoming episodes.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. I guess I'll see you guys later.
Yep.
Thank you.
And comment down below if you want to be a guest on the show. You never
Yeah.
know. You could get an opportunity to join the 5 amazing people on this show, on this podcast.
Yes.